Hey guys, welcome to my backyard. It is time for another garden tour update. I just have a few flowers to go over with you. Hope everybody is doing well. My name is Tim, by the way, and I am the long-haired gardener. I live in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and I'm about ready to show you what my backyard looks like. So come along and let's take a look. Alright guys, I just want to do a quick garden update. Do have a few plants that have opened up, a few plants that are blooming, and believe it or not, I bought another plant, so I did want to show that to you. We'll start over here in this section. So my last video was a complete garden tour, so I'm not going to go around and point out every single plant or flower, just the ones that have new growth, new flowers, or as a new plant. So I did want to point out that right here we have Caladium that has opened up, and then right below the Caladium we have these nice striped purple queens. Alright, let's move on here. We're just going to do a little pan just so you can see how much everything has grown in such a short amount of time. Let's lift this up just so you can see that spider plant and this Sabrina. Things are looking so good. These echinaceas are looking amazing. Also have a sweet potato vine down here. Another sweet potato vine. It's a little slow going in the center here. I was hoping it would be further along, but you know, that is what it is. Just want to come down here and take a look at this marigold. I think this is a really nice color. Started this marigold from seeds, and something that is new that has popped up are these dahlias. So dahlias, you have to, depending on where you live, dig them out of the ground and bring them in every year, and I forgot to dig these out, and surprisingly they came back. So what a nice treat to have these come back. As you can see, really dark, almost black, purpley blooms, so they are quite beautiful. Very happy to see them again, and I think I'm going to take the risk and just leave them in the ground and not dig them out, because I tend to have trouble digging things out, and overwintering bulbs, sometimes they kind of dry out for me. The daylilies are starting to open. Just starting. A couple days this is going to be much fuller. Speaking of bulbs that I forgot to dig out but came up anyway, I have a canna coming down here, and I kind of missed these guys in full bloom. I'll see if I can find a picture to put up on the screen. So these are Easter lilies, and right here in these pots right here, these are lantana, and you can see they are just getting ready to bloom, probably in another week or so. Have a very large yucca right here, which is looking quite spectacular. The yucca will bloom, but I don't think it will bloom this year for me. It gets a really tall, thick stem in the center that produces white flowers. We'll just spin right over here. Take a look at these echinaceas. There's a bee enjoying the pollen. And right below, another first. And this plant right here, the name is escaping me at the moment, and it is not completely opened, but this is a bulb and it gets red flowers, so I'm very excited that this has finally started to bloom or get ready to bloom. think I've had that for 2 years and nothing has happened until now. So can't wait to see what that looks like in full bloom. Moving over here, everything is just looking so good. This Angelonia back here is actually becoming the star of this planter in terms of height. And then just look at these petunias down here. Still having some trouble with my bacopa. It's not continuously blooming. If anybody has any suggestions on what might be going on there, I'd love to hear that. And these are new. These are snapdragons. These are ones that I grew from seed. So they are a little tall, even though I did pinch them back early on in the season, but I am glad that they are finally blooming. And over here we have this amazing calla lily. Very excited that this is blooming. It is quite tall. So yeah, very excited for that. Such an elegant, beautiful bloom. And there is another one coming right down there. And in the distance right behind here, we have a hyacinth bean vine, which is starting to climb up that trellis. So I'm excited about that. Let's see if I can spin around here without getting in too much sunlight. It is very bright over here. I did want to point out that finally this red penta is starting to bloom, and this dichondra silver falls is doing amazing. I may have mentioned in the past I have trouble with it getting too hot over here for a lot of plants, so I'm glad to see that the dichondra silver falls is really thriving. Alright, we're gonna just spin around over here. Take a look at these coleus. They're doing quite nicely. And just take a look at the variety of tradescantias that are down here. Also doing quite well. This is a cleome, still waiting for that to bloom. I did grow that from seed, so maybe just slightly behind, depending on when you start your plants. From seed, they could take a little bit longer than if you just bought them right from the greenhouse. We have another caladium. It's the same variety as the first one that we saw. And let's come over here. So the new plant that I mentioned that I bought is this Hawaiian Thai plant, which is hiding in the back here. It is looking okay. That particular one, for some reason, isn't looking as good as the two that I have back here in a pot. So I just want to zoom in here just so you can see how beautiful that hot pink edge is on those leaves. While we're over here, I also have another caladium. It's finally been warm enough that the caladiums are starting to emerge, and I'm really happy with this particular one right here. All right, let me just spin around here without stepping on any plants. House plant back here is doing quite well, and of course, very good year for the hostas. Everything's looking really good. We're just going to take another look, since I'm at a good angle, at these other house plants back here. An angel wing begonia and a croton there on the right. Alright, zooming down, more caladiums. These are such a beautiful plant for shaded sections. If you want something other than hostas or impatiens or heuchera, caladiums are great, and they really offer an amazing range of color. All right, this is the back side Have this planter that also has another spider plant. And let's spin around here. I don't think we've taken a look at the lamb's ear. It's doing really well. If you're not familiar, it has this really nice, soft, velvety texture. It's such a fun plant to have. Every time I walk by, I like to give it a little touch, just so I can feel the fuzzy leaves. All right, here's another coleus, looking quite nice. And right here we have a peppermint stick balsam plant that is starting to bloom. I see there are ants all over this, but aren't those flowers beautiful? This guy did come back from last year from seeds, so it's nice that that happened. I always like little surprises when things come back from the previous year. All right, we'll just take a final look at the pots over here. I also just want to pause for a second on this boxwood. I did a video earlier in the season where I trimmed this back, and it's finally starting to fill in, and looks like it's doing quite well. All right, let's just do another spin. This is perfect. The sun just went behind the cloud. So of course the absolute star of the show over here is this banana tree, and it's just absolutely beautiful. I can't stop looking at it. I mean, look at the color and look at the size of this plant, and we still have probably a good 2 months where this plant will continue to grow. So I'm very excited to see just how big this plant gets. Do a little update here on the pepper plants. Do have a pepper right here. I see another little one right back here starting to come up. Oops, I'm getting a little shadow, sorry about that. Sun Impatient is looking a little sad. I think that might be a watering issue, not enough water, so I need to keep a better eye on that. Let's see, the Alocasia elephant ear is doing nicely, and I do want to point out this hyacinth bean vine over here. This is probably the best year for this plant. The leaves are very large. Can't wait till it blooms. And then also, look at this. I love the feathery texture of the foliage of that cypress vine. So with any luck, we're also going to get some flowers off of that cypress vine, so can't wait to see that. And I don't remember if I showed you or not. Oh, we got a little cobweb, or possibly my hair. That's my hair. I have this avocado tree started here, so it's a fun little unexpected plant. I think I mentioned before, I just threw this avocado seed out here last year. It was out here all winter, and then all of a sudden in the springtime I noticed that there was a sprout coming. So how exciting is that? All right, I think that pretty much covers all of the new growth. Like I said, I did get a new Thai plant, which I did show you. Finally excited, or I am excited that I finally found that Thai plant. It's not incredibly difficult to find, but when I do find them, they are usually way too big, at least for the size that I'm looking for. So finally found one that's appropriately sized for my garden and eventually my apartment. Alright, we'll do one more look at these dahlias because they are so nice. And that pretty much wraps it up for this garden update. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please feel free to leave me comments down below if you have any tips on any of the plants that I may be having difficulties with. And please click like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next garden video. Hope you have a great day in your garden.